This is Albert Pierpont, and he killed up to 600 people legally, and I'm going to be telling you some of the notable people that he killed. Now, Pierpont was an executioner, one of our last actually, and he came from a whole family of executioners. Both his father and uncle were executioners, and he actually executed some notable people. So you don't want to meet this guy on a dark night. This is Gordon Cummings. He's called the Blackout Ripper, and he killed 4 women and attempted to kill another 2 in 1942. He was caught and executed by our friend Albert in 1942. This guy is John George Hay. So he's commonly known as the acid bath murderer. So he was obviously an English serial killer. He was convicted of the murder of 6 people, though it might have been up to 9. And he either battered to death or shot his victims, and he disposed of their bodies using sulfuric acid, hence the name the acid bath killer. And then he would forge their signatures so that he could sell their possessions. You know, lovely, lovely dude here. But we all know on the end of whose noose he's going to end up on. Is John Reginald Halliday Christie. So he was also an English serial killer and a serial rapist, and he was active in the 40s and 50s. He murdered at least 8 people, including his wife Ethel, and he basically strangled them to death inside his flat in Rillington Place in Notting Hill. Not what you think of when you think of Notting Hill, is it? So the bodies of 3 of his victims were in his kitchen alcove, and they were found when he moved out, and the remains of 2 more victims were found in the garden, and his wife's body was found beneath the floorboards in his front room. Enter Albert. Albert also killed women. So this is Ruth Ellis. So she was a Welsh-born nightclub hostess, and she was a convicted murderer, and she was convicted of shooting her lover, David Blakely. Now, she is the last woman to be executed in Britain. So the British death penalty is abolished in 1965. Now, what happened to Albert? Here he is. So Albert gets into a pay dispute. Who knows what the pay is like as an executioner in the early part of the 20th century in Britain, but he gets into a dispute. He stops being an executioner and he ends his days running a pub. He actually writes a memoir too, if you want to check that out. If you like this kind of weird content, do check out my YouTube channel.